How's it looking in Texas?
Thanks, Tyler. Things are continuing to look good for launch here in Texas, so getting pretty close here with just under 6 minutes left. You mentioned Gigabay. We're currently laying the foundation for a Gigabay here at Starbase as well, and we expect it to be up and running sometime next year. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of Starships on the way, and we're going to need more hands on deck. So come help us build the gateway to Mars. Visit spacex.com/careers to see all of our openings.
Yeah, I've been here for a couple of years now. Nowhere more magical, more inspirational on the planet. If you're a space nerd, you can come be like Amanda and build these things for real. It's pretty insane. It's super exciting. And yeah, come check us out. All right.
Absolutely. It's surreal to be here for sure. Okay, so we are looking like we're about 5 minutes away from launch and heading into terminal count. Range and weather are continuing to look good, and prop load continues on both stages of Starship. We'll close out here in just a minute or so.
Yeah, we're just about done. It looks like, let me grab my numbers real quick. We're not tracking any issues. We are just creeping up to 90% full on the locks on the booster, a little over 93% on ship, or sorry, fuel on the booster, and then ship we're just about to close out, so only a couple of minutes to go there. Once we're done, you've got just shy of 11 million pounds of liquid propellant on board those two different stages. We'll see a couple of final things happen. Well, you can't really see it. It's all going to be happening in our ground systems as we'll do pushbacks, clear all of the propellant out of those lines that are flowing up through the tower and into the vehicles, and get ready for launch. We just did our final guidance, navigation, and control system checkouts. Our flight safety system is being armed right now, and we're doing our final wiggle checks shortly with the engines on the thrust vector control. It's how we're steering the rocket. If we need to hold, which we are not currently tracking a reason to hold, that would come at T-minus 40 seconds. You saw us do that yesterday. We can hang out there for about 8 minutes or so right now. That's the point. It's built into the countdown. If we need to wait for clouds that just won't go the heck away or any other issues, we can hang out at T-minus 40 for a bit. But at the moment, we're not planning to do that.
Now, once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark, a number of events are going to occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure. Ship will switch over to internal power, and after that, the QD arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction, which occurs shortly after T0. And once we pass that T-minus 40 seconds, we do still have the ability to then recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened, and if we can proceed again back down to liftoff.
That's right. We do have at least one point of no return, though. If the water-cooled flame deflector underneath the launch mount fires off, that happens a little bit after T-minus 10 seconds. That doesn't turn off once it starts going, so we would have to stand down for the day if we do hit a hold or an abort at that point, so we can refill water tanks. At this point, we're not sure if we'd be able to attempt tomorrow because we have fully loaded the vehicle. We have to do a lot of fancy scheduling to get propellant in here as fast as possible, but again, we've got a pretty heroic and amazing team that works all of those logistics, got us into our attempt today after we did a unplanned wet dress yesterday during our attempt. So really exciting to see. But we're coming up on 2 minutes. We've got a green range.
Oh,
we are
man.
green for weather. Green has always been my favorite color, only more so now. And we are not tracking any issues with
It's looking
the
beautiful here,
vehicle
guys.
today. So
It is
we are
looking beautiful.
good. 2 minutes to go.
Wow. I will say,
Again,
quick
not
reminder,
planning on
if you happen to
holding
be...
at T-minus 40 seconds
I'll wait
right
until
now,
it's
but
ducked out.
in case
If
we
you happen
do
to be
pass
watching
that,
here locally, if you are in person staring at Starship with your own eyeballs right now, but you're hearing my voice, do not forget there is a large latency between myself, and even we have a 10-second delay or 12-second delay between the SpaceX feed and me, and then another 20 or 30 seconds up into the cloud and down to your devices. So when you see me at T-minus 1 minute, if you are still watching me, stop watching. You better be looking at the rocket. So that's right about now. If you're hearing this right now and you're seeing the rocket, start staring at the rocket, because yeah, that's going to line up with about when you'll see the water go up and everything's on time. So we are T-minus 1 minute. I'm going to listen in, and hopefully we don't miss anything. We do have to switch because of that latency. I will be talking. You'll hear our launch audio, so you hear the rumble and you hear and feel what I'm experiencing.
1 minute to go to launch.
Okay. Oh my
Let's
gosh.
go.
All right, so
Let's
again,
go,
our hold
guys.
point comes up at T-minus 40, not tracking any reason to stop there,
Yeah,
so
that's
we
30.
should see us go right through
There you go.
that.
30 seconds for me, guys. In real time.
Let's go, baby.
All right, we are through T-minus
20.
40. We are counting down. We're going to let our flight
Go for
director,
launch.
Maciek Batura, take us the rest of the way.
Here we go. We're
30 seconds. The
T-minus
10th
15 seconds.
liftoff.
So again, we're gonna duck down their audio for now, just so you don't have weird sync issues and all that stuff. So when you're watching, you're gonna hear the actual launch audio with our good microphones and everything. So here we go, and ignition, baby. Yes, come on. And liftoff of Starship Flight 10. Finally, one of the last version 2 boosters and ships lifting off. Beautiful liftoff. Oh my word, that is absolutely stunning. Oh, the mock diamonds are just hopping today. Oh, and now we're starting to hear it. See, I can see shockwaves emitting as it's coming out of the engine. It is stunning, and it's ascending into bright daylight, reflecting off of it. Again, we're hoping to see a fantastic launch here today, and we're hoping that version 2 Starship finally gets a chance of redemption after 3 failed attempts to get all the way to the Indian Ocean. So, yes! You know, sometimes it's bittersweet. Sometimes when we have these scrubs and problems with scrubs and scrubs, when you see that and feel that, it makes it all so much better. Oh man, it's flying into a little bit of a cloud for me right now. But that sound is fantastic. Let's get the X feed pulled up here, make sure everything's good on their stream. And I'm still seeing what looks like a good set of engines going. So this is awesome. Holy crap. Maximum aerodynamic pressure. We are looking good.
Right, so we are through the period of maximum dynamic pressure, max stress on the vehicle as it continues to fly.
Our next major event is going to be hot staging, which is happening in just over 90 seconds from now. To get ready, the booster will shut down all but
SpaceX
3 of
views
its
up on
Raptor
screen here
engines.
too.
The clamps holding the 2 stages together will release, and the Starship second stage ignites its engines. The ship then separates from the Super Heavy booster and heads to space. At the same time, the 3 engines still firing on Super Heavy will flip the booster around. 10 more engines will ignite for the boost back burn, putting the first stage on the path for splashdown.
That's it. Let's just keep on the SpaceX feed.
As we mentioned earlier, the hot stage will be jettisoned for this flight, and that should occur just after the boost back burn. So we're about to shut down the first stage and perform hot staging. So let's just watch and listen.
All right, so we're gonna hopefully see hot staging here. For me, I'll see it about 10, 12 seconds before it happens in real life, so I'll be reporting a little bit early for you guys. I still see 33 engines glowing bright, or the reflection, but we will hopefully see.
Yeah, they're all glowing. One is off.
It looks like most engines shut down there. You can kind of see a little bit of gas. You can see, and there's hot staging. That is so cool. I can't wait to see that at night.
Starship is on.
Throttle down.
All right.
Let's go, baby.
I didn't see an explosion afterwards, so it's looking clean so
Starship is
far.
on.
Miko.
Oh, that's so cool.
Main engine cut off.
Gosh, that just...
Ship ignition.
Come on.
Let's go!
That is
Boost
so...
back burn startup. Stage separation.
Oh my god, this is beautiful.
We have good 6 Raptors on ship.
Let's go, baby.
Stage separation confirmed. We've got 6 engines running on ship.
Come on, Raptor.
Booster is doing its boost back burn, continuing now towards its splashdown site in the Gulf.
Ship
We are
Raptor
seeing
chamber
all 6
pressure is
Raptors
nominal.
lit up on ship.
All right, let's
Might
go.
be down 1 Raptor on the middle ring there.
Yeah, that's what I was
But
saying.
maybe they're saving that one for the
You
relight.
heard them report ship chamber pressure is nominal, so that chamber pressure, just that expected thrust level in those Raptor engines on the ship. 3 vacuum optimized, 3 sea level, all looking good.
Okay.
Man, guys, you can see the venting. Like, I can see the vents. That's actually how I was able to respot Starships when it's venting out those ullage gases as attitude control. It is crazy.
There's a view into the business end from the ship.
Boost back burn shut down.
Who's back bench shut
And what's
down?
nuts is it's about to be falling. Now it is officially falling.
Apogee has already been reached, bro.
That's a big
Right, so at
vent.
this point, we finished our boost back burn, so that was shut down. So that's the the first of the 2 burns after a launch that the booster's going to do today. So now it's
Jesus.
headed towards the Gulf. It's not going to be quite as an aggressive of a flight down. We relax that angle of attack a little bit, but we are then going to be looking for it to do its engine tests for the landing burn, and those are going to be a little unique this time.
Look at
Yeah,
those tracking
typically we
views.
start with all 13 inner engines lit for that landing burn and bring that down to just the center 3. But one of our
Still
test
going.
objectives for today is to simulate what an
Let's go,
engine out
baby. Let's go.
situation would look like. So we're going to be intentionally turning off one of those center 3 and instead lighting one of the engines from the middle 10 ring.
Yeah, we did see one of those engines in the middle ring shut down during the initial ascent. Oh, looks like we have hot stage jettison. You can see it floating away there.
The ring right there.
To the left of the booster.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did see one of those middle engines shut down during the ascent. Again, we are resilient to engine out on Super Heavy. That's why we're able to get through our ascent.
You can just see it just falling. It's crazy. Like, it's so
Starship
big,
flying
it's so
on the
obvious.
expected path.
So fast.
There's still a chance that engine could be back in the mix for the very start of the landing burn, so we'll see if we light up all
Don't
13.
forget
But we've even done a landing burn at the tower with an engine out, so
It's starting to glow.
very resilient. We'll see how it does on its way down to the Gulf.
Wow.
Wow.
It's cruising.
Jesus.
Oh, that does not get old. That is so cool.
So we got a couple of minutes. That landing burn start should be
So cool.
just about 40 seconds away.
So cool. Sure.
Look at the shot, the tracking shot from our team. That is incredible.
That's always rad. You can see the boost plume itself in the background as it was coming in.
Don't forget, you'll actually see it a little bit ahead of time here.
Right, about 20 seconds to landing burn.
Okay, it didn't blow up on engine ignition. That's, I think, better than last time, pretty much.
Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
Right now,
And they're down to the middle engines, likely using one from the
All right, here we
that's
go.
cool. Let's pull up. Yeah, I want to see what the engines are doing here. And a simulated engine out.
Looks like
Confirmed.
we got 12 of those 13.
Yep.
These guys are smart.
Down to 3,
And a
including
nice
one of the middle
looking-
ring.
Good there.
Yes, that's what they wanted to do. Remember, that was the plan, was to cut the engines, stop vertical
Down to
velocity,
2.
and then just let it fall, and they
Nice
did.
little
And it
hover.
was awesome.
Yeah.
And landing burn shut down.
Yes. And watch on the SpaceX
And
video,
into
just
the
fall.
Gulf. Here we come. And the booster has splashed out.
This guy's gone.
Oh, that was great.
Incredible flight for Booster today.
That was perfect. That's what they were looking to do exactly.
Meanwhile, back in space,
This guy's gone.
about 7 minutes into today's
Oh,
flight,
this
ship
is
continuing
fantastic.
its
Oh,
ascent burn.
Rest in
This
peace.
goes until just about 9 minutes into our flight. That ship engine cutoff
Bro, that's
is
a
slated for
gone.
8 minutes and 57 seconds.
Said
We
it's
are
3
going to
Raptor
see
engines.
those 3 RVAC, the Raptor vacuum engines. Those are the bigger circles, and
Lots
that
of prop.
little indicator on the bottom right of your screen, those will shut down first. And we continue burning for a couple seconds longer on those inner 3 before we hit SECO, our second engine cutoff.
I'm going to go inside while to really study this thing. So, 1 second.
Yeah, these views are looking great. Once again, thanks to Starlink for getting us these views. It's just
Starship is
incredible.
still pushing. No engine issues. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And we just heard the sound from Booster.
It's like we just got a late boom from the booster.
Okay, we need a clean. Come on.
Let's go, baby.
Give us a nice, clean cutoff. By the way, I
We
just
have
heard.
ship engine cutoff coming up here just shortly. And as we mentioned, today's flight test is not an orbital flight, but rather one that demonstrates Starship's orbital capability.
Starship from terminal guidance.
I just heard the sonic boom, by the way, right when I was coming inside.
All right, entering the final phase of this burn.
No issues.
Under 30
That's
seconds to go.
It's gorgeous. Bring this ship down, baby.
Come on, guys. Nice and clean.
Nice and clean. Nice
I
and
still
clean.
see a hot spot on one of those Raptors. We see that all the time.
All right, shut down the vacuum engines.
Woo!
And
Very
then
cool.
shut down the 3 sea level engines, which can kind of help maintain attitude control.
Ship
There we
engine
go.
cutoff.
Sequel,
Shut down
yes!
center 3.
Woo!
Successful ship engine
Sequel!
cutoff.
I love how they have an orientation thing on screen now, too, so you can see which direction the vehicle's pointing.
Sequel.
And its orientation in
Seco,
space.
baby. There
That
we
is
go.
cool.
That's what we want.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Finally!
Yes.
All right, we just heard the call out for nominal orbital insertion.
Nominal orbital insertion.
Finally.
So our time.
Looking much better.
Much
All
better.
right, so ship
Flaps
is
moving.
in space.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
Flaps are
See
moving.
the flaps starting to move into a stowed position. That's why it looks like your camera's moving.
Yeah, exciting to see Starship safely in space, and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in
It's
action
so
here today.
cool. Fly
And
the
of course,
ship.
as guaranteed, it's been an exciting day so far. We successfully lifted off right on time at 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Oh, look at
Thankfully, our
that.
weather was looking good today. Yeah, and booster, we had our soft splashdown in the Gulf, so ship continues on.
Yeah, ship able to complete its ascent burn all the way in. You can see some of the shadows start to creep as it's going to be eventually flying into an orbital nighttime. So we'll see some daylight start to go away. But ship is in orbit, completed its burn. And, I mean, that's just the beginning. Now we've got a whole bunch more to go. So we've got some exciting demonstrations planned while we're on orbit.
All right, FTF is saved.
That right there, we just saved the FTS, the flight termination system. That's that automatic flight safety system we have on the vehicle. So that is now turned off while ship starts its coast period. We are coming up. Our next milestone is going to be the deployment of those Starlink simulators.
7 minutes.
We've got some payload inside of Starship that we're hoping to deploy into space for the very first time.
They won't be in orbit,
that
remember.
deploy is supposed to start at about 18 minutes and 27 seconds into the flight, so just about 7 minutes from now. That deploy will take place over a couple of minutes. It'll go about 1 satellite a minute. So we'll be spread out over that. It might get a little dark, but we've got a couple of views that we can show you to see that deploy in action. After that, we're also looking to do a relight of a single Raptor engine while we are in space. We've done this once before.
So cool.
This is not necessary to deorbit, as we are in a suborbital trajectory. But this is essentially a chance to test out what we need to be able to do a deorbit burn. So we'll be doing that a little bit later in the flight, about 37 minutes or so into the flight.
Just ice, kind of
and
like
then
metallic.
we get into re-entry.
Yeah.
We're looking to get that light show and, more importantly, get that really critical data about the ship's heat shield.
Yeah, exactly. At about T plus 45 minutes, we'll be heading for re-entry. Again, running those experiments with the tiles. We're going to be doing missing tiles, metallic tiles, and also intentionally loading those vehicles' flaps. Hopefully, we'll also see a splashdown in the Indian Ocean today.
Yeah, we were able to get to a re-entry last time, but we didn't have full attitude control, so we weren't able to go in, heat shield first the way we're designed to. So we ended up losing contact with the ship before we could make it all the way through.
That looks like ice.
So you still get data, but you're not really getting the data that we want to make sure we're kind of stress testing the vehicle. As Amanda just said, we removed a bunch of tiles, and we do this in some intentionally scary places on the vehicle because we're really looking, are there spots that were vulnerable to this? Before we ever start moving towards, putting ship into a full orbital mission to then do re-entries a little bit later on. So really, really critical to get that data, really looking forward to a controlled re-entry.
And so far...
Yeah, for sure. As we always say, our main payload is data. But today we also have some actual payload on board, and those simulators that Starship will be deploying, we'll see coming up here in just a few minutes. These are dummy satellites that are about the same size as our V3 Starlinks. We have 8 in the Starship PEZ dispenser and expect to deploy at a rate of about 1 per minute, as Dan mentioned earlier. Starlink is critical in all of our flights on Starship to get our main payload data, as we always say.
Sunset.
And in fact, it's Starlink that's currently providing these views you see as Starship cruises a couple hundred kilometers above our home planet and provides real-time telemetry through every phase of flight.
Yeah, we took a peek inside of the Starship payload bay there for a second. So there's 8 of them. They kind of look just big steel plates, essentially. They're roughly the same size as those V3 satellites. When we do get that view inside of the payload bay, the payload door will kind of be on your right, and we'll start to see them go out like a Pez dispenser. Yeah, here's a look inside. So those right down there in the center, they're kind of 2 stacks of 4 on either side. And then the payload door is just to their right. And so we'll look to see that open, and then those satellites start to go. We vent the nose cone, so we essentially bring it down to vacuum before we open the door. That was one of the things we ran into on the last flight.
Whoa.
As when we had that fuel diffuser fail, the pressure in the nose cone became basically too high for the actuator of the door to open. So that's why we weren't able to get the door open that time. We have not seen anything like that on this flight. Everything's looking good with our fuel tank and our fuel press system. So we are hopefully just a couple of minutes away from seeing that.
Look at all that.
Open and getting to our
Looks
first
like they might be
payload.
starting to.
It's not the first payload we've ever carried.
That banana.
But it's the first one we're going to try and shoot off into space.
By the way, you can see the attitude controls much more controlled this time. Very slowly, slewing around.
So I think we're supposed to open the payload door in just about a minute and change.
Looks like
And you're seeing a little bit of residual gas. And we opened the door once. I want to say it was back on Flight 3 when we were able to make it up into space. And you'll kind of see a lot of that gas rushing out into the vacuum of space. It's the residual that's left over after we've already vented it down. So kind of a cool light show. And then we'll get ready to deploy those payloads out.
So they are slowly slewing so that they can deploy these and then be able to be facing retrograde, basically. Have the engine pointing retrograde so they can do that engine relay
As
test.
we mentioned,
so that's why
we
it's
have
slewing
crossed
around.
over now at this point into an orbital nighttime. So views from the outside will get pretty dark, but we'll see what we can see. We do this by design. We've been launching these later in the day here in Texas to try and get daytime views when we splash down. So it's daytime over in the Indian Ocean, where we are currently headed.
Just a few seconds until we expect those payload doors to open.
How? I'm afraid I can't do that.
All right, one more time. Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Not again. Open these damn doors. Ha!
Oh, gas venting, which means the door's likely opening. Look at that. Wow.
The gases are rushing
Is
out.
that sealed?
It's opened.
You can see it raising on the right there. You can see a little lip raising. Kind of hard to tell, but it's opening.
Yeah.
It's opening. Finally.
That is beautiful.
Finally.
Let's look at that.
I'm impressed with how sealed it was.
Payload deploy prep.
Beautiful.
Yes. I shouldn't be so excited about a stupid tiny door, but here we are.
Not just you, bro.
And the door is open.
Dan.
Finally.
Sounds like he doesn't want to curse it. And the door is open. Don't scare the door.
Don't scare the door. Don't scare the fucking door.
All right. So the next thing is
the payload door is open. We should see the first satellite start to deploy.
Fast.
Shoot him out, baby. Shoot him out.
Plus 18 minutes and 27 seconds. So be only about 30 seconds. So one step closer. Hal listened this time. He cooperated. He opened the payload door for us.
That looks like way more legitimate
behind
hardware
the
too
Pez
now.
here, looking out into the vacuum of space.
Shoot him out, baby. Shoot him
15
out.
seconds until payload deploy.
Give me some views.
All right. Can they do a payload deploy? There goes a trading card or something.
Transition to payload deploy.
Someone's business card.
We are waiting.
Oh. Did that happen?
Come on, boys. You can do this.
The things we get excited about. Oh, we see some movement.
Okay. Come on, don't fucking scare me like that.
And here it goes.
There
The
you
first
go.
payload to ever be
we
ejected
go.
from a Starship prototype.
Woo!
Intentionally.
There we go.
Uh-oh. Don't get stuck there. I
Let's go,
think you
let's go,
might have just got
let's go,
stuck
let's
there.
go. It's out.
Maybe?
It's out. It's out, right?
Maybe it worked.
It's
For
out.
you. I've been waiting way too long to do that. There we go.
Oh, that's just the back of the thing pushing. So that part... Or... Let's see if this one goes a little smoother.
There goes another
There it
one.
goes. Oh, that is cool.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's really cool.
There it goes.
A little boop on the door on the way out, I think.
And then it comes back.
Now remember,
Super
these are
exciting moment
suborbital.
as you can hear the energy in both
So they will
Hawthorne
re-enter.
and Starbase. Everyone's super excited for finally getting to deploy some of those
Finally.
simulated satellites.
Stupid doors.
So they will re-enter.
Has system moving
Let's
down.
do that.
Next
That's
row.
Oh,
There we go. As we said, we're going to do about one every minute or so. And this is just kind of a dress rehearsal for when we're going to be deploying the V3 satellites. And these are just a massive, massive increase to Starlink's capability. Each one of them has it's 60 terabits per second of capacity
60.
that's going to get added to the network per launch. That's 20 times more than what we're adding with every single Falcon 9 launch today, which,
That one is
you know,
out.
step increase in capability. There goes another one.
I kind of feel like they're playing around with the rates a little bit. Like this one's going to deploy a little bit at a higher rate. This one's going to be a little slower. So they can get some data on like what is the best way to yeet these things out that little door. That's cool. That's really satisfying.
All right, so as we said, we've got 8 total that we're going to go through today. It's about a minute for each one, but looking good on payload deploy.
Send it. Send it. Woo! No. Oh,
That's
God.
boots
This
on the way out a
is
little
beautiful. And then the tree comes back. Reverse. Oh, God.
It's crazy to see the chain spinning. A Starlink chant.
Goes down. Oh, God. This is too good. This is too good.
So again, these are just demonstrators. These are payload dummies, but they're a similar mass and size to the Starlink version 3 satellites that Starship will be deploying on some of the earliest missions. So they're just testing out if the system works to deploy.
All right, so we're about halfway through. When we actually start launching the V3 Starlinks on Starship, we're going to be flying about 60 each time. So it'll be about an hour to get through a full stack. But again, it's just going to be a massive increase in the amount of bandwidth. It's going to enable, gigabit upload download for people with Starlink, anywhere on the planet.
Now I
And for
see
us,
why I thought that first one got
Starlink
stuck.
is just a tremendous part of just the Starship flight test program.
Yeah, absolutely. Always getting us that data, and yeah, the amazing views we have on the vehicle today.
Bro, that system is working.
So the back one
views
pushes the
brought to
front
you
one
by
out.
Starlink of us deploying Starlink simulators before we deploy actual Starlinks. How deep does it go? All right, another one firing out.
Okay.
Now if they just have one camera on one of those dummy satellites, please, just please.
This is beautiful.
This is very satisfying though.
Fair.
To see it finally working out.
SpaceX is the fucking
The
goat.
excitement of, yeah, here comes
As
another
looking
one.
smooth today.
The vending machine.
SpaceX is the fucking goat. They are the fucking goat.
I'm sure the team on this are happy to have a little bit more time. Like if this had been the first launch, it would have been so jank and probably a very antiquated system. And now like they have a pretty well thought out and well engineered system by the time they're actually able to start deploying I mean, it looks legit. Like, it looks like aerospace hardware instead of just like a quick weld. I mean, it looks like a lot of CNC'd hardware there. It looks way more legitimate than some of the first things inside the payload bay.
All right, looks like we've got one left.
Almost there.
Yeah, I want to say like.
Looks like we're going 8 for 8. Yep, so then the back's up so it can throw itself
There you go,
out.
1 remaining, so 7 of the 8 have been deployed, 1 more to go. And then we will have completed our first ever payload deploy operation. Just a reminder, we're on a suborbital trajectory. These satellites on that exact same suborbital trajectory burn up entirely and are on that same trajectory. So the last one has been deployed.
SpaceX.
Starlink simulator payload complete. Heck yeah, everybody.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
Loving the energy from Starbase and Hawthorne.
Hell yeah.
Yes, congrats. Finally.
Congratulations.
Some good progress.
Now it's empty. Looking a little lonely. But
Milestone reached.
Successfully deployed all the simulator satellites.
really, really cool
Now
to
let's
see
close this
them
stupid
all
ball
out
game.
there. Again, people that have followed know Starlink's really critical for the Starship program, in addition to, getting all those views back from the cameras on Starship, which this is an external view. As I said, it's dark outside right now. The lights are off, so it's going to be hard to make stuff out. But in a little while, the sun's going to start coming up as we get to re-entry, which is going to be really critical.
Bro, it's coming right over Africa.
I mean, we use Starlink for Starship data. Cameras also use it on the cameras that we use to bring you views of these launches, and also, hopefully, of the re-entry and splashdown. We'll see what we get from the Indian Ocean today. And that's just kind of how it all comes together. Like, we're using Starlink on the planet, off the planet. With Starship, we actually get pretty insane. If you're in the space industry, bandwidth to space is usually pretty minimal. We get about 120 megabits per second. That's split between our high-definition video and real-time telemetry. We get that every phase of flight, including re-entry. So it's not just giving us views of re-entry, but we're getting all of that engineering data in real time through phases that it used to be impossible to get that in real time. So just really incredible.
Yeah, Starlink definitely affords us all this capability. And reminder, it's the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people all around the world, many of whom had never had connectivity before. Today, Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets, with over 6 million active customers and counting. To meet the growing global demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory in Bastrop, Texas, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard Kit.
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship is now going to close its payload bay door and continue to coast towards Earth, around Earth, towards the Indian Ocean. Sorry, I'm really excited today. We are in space, people. Still a lot of major events to come, though. We are looking to relight one of those Raptor engines at about 37 minutes, 33 seconds into the flight, followed by atmospheric entry, hell of a light show, and splashdown. So we're going to go on a quick break, take a quick coast, sit back, enjoy the views. A little bit dark now, but they'll get better soon. Couple of space jams. We'll be back in just a few minutes for that Raptor relight and then re-entry. See you soon.
See you soon.
Sick. So we have about 10 minutes now, for Raptor relight, or what is it? Yeah, about 10 minutes on the dot almost between now and that Raptor relight test. And then pretty soon after that, we should hopefully be getting into daylight, and or the other fun thing that you see is you start to see the plasma glowing on the outside of the vehicle, and that starts to illuminate the vehicle so you can actually see what's going on. Because right now, like I said, they're completely in darkness. They're now flying almost on the same longitude as, like, they're getting close to the, to Spain and the west coast of Africa. So they, it's dark there now. If you live there, you know this. So Starship's there. It is not able to see the sun from where it's at, and so it's dark. The views will just get better. I'm loving this, guys. This is awesome. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. From here on out, honestly, I mean, I hope and assume the Raptor relight test will go well. If that does, even if it doesn't make it down to splashdown, it would be understandable because they are pushing it to the limits. They're doing some extreme angle tests. They have a lot of heat shield tiles removed. They're looking for data. They're not looking to actually land this thing and then recover it or anything. They don't care. They want to see what fails. So as long as it starts to re-enter and can maintain orientation, get data out of these new flaps. The flaps are different. They have not made it to this point under control where they could actually get good data on, do these flaps do what we expect them to do? Are they an improvement over version 1? Where are we at with the flaps? So I'm loving this. This is great. This is really, really great. So let's answer some questions. We got a little bit of time here in between. That orientation, by the way, is looking good. We want that nose pointed up, you know, roughly a 70-ish degree angle. I don't remember what the exact, knowing SpaceX team is probably a 69-degree angle. That looks good, though. That looks like it's nice and controlled. It's looking good. So from Frank from Disney saying, I hope they call this delivery system Starvana. I missed this from kilometers in altitude. Either it's plasma or a fire. Oh, you have a better sense of that. Whatever ripped that thing apart.
Whoa.
What could have done that?
What the hell?
Unless it looks like it was like ripped off. Like something did energetically do something there. And not just like, oh, because you do have to remember now while it's re-entering, some of those, they put a few heat shield tiles like on the inside of the flaps, like on here. And those will experience a negative pressure. So when something's in space, there's no pressure differential. Everything's experiencing, you know, basically zero atmosphere. So everything, there's no differential. Now, if you have, well, that doesn't make sense because there'd have to be airflow over it. So I don't know. I'm still just confused. This is the nose flap here we're looking at. It is plasma time, though. It is plasma time happening at 44 minutes already. Good angle of attack going, too. Look at the angle of attack, the indicator down there next to the Earth in the bottom right.
Pointed up.
Nice orientation there. We want it to be, you know, pitched up like that. That's what they're looking for. And then they can use the flaps to open and close and help maintain, you know, the correct attitude there. So this is looking good. This is looking really good. Nice and controlled. This is the first time we're seeing these newer flaps be used. So you can see some of the heat shield tiles there. Some have been torn off on that leeward side of the flap. I think they kind of put them there for testing purposes, just to see how certain ones fare in certain conditions in certain places. It's all data. It is all data. Thank you, David, so much for your super chat. And Butol and Tyler Lutz, good to hear from you. 28 months of membership. Thank you so much. A good question from Ben. Have they solved the radiation during transit to Mars? There's no such thing really as solving. There's things you can do to mitigate risk, right? There's things you can do to mitigate exposure. Going out to Mars is not that different from staying on the International Space Station for 6 months. There's a higher radiation exposure, yes, because you're outside of the Earth's, magnetosphere. You're outside of the Earth's basically the atmosphere can protect, what's it called? I'm blanking right now, but yeah. When you're in the Earth orbit, you're still kind of within the Earth's magnetosphere, and it protects you and deflects a decent amount of radiation. It's not like you get outside of that and all of a sudden the background radiation is so strong you're just going to die, right? You're not going to get acute radiation poisoning. It's cumulative. So the longer you're exposed to whatever level of radiation, it all just builds up over time, right? So going out to Mars, you could go to Mars and back and spend 2.5 years on that journey, and it really wouldn't be like that much worse than someone that smokes cigarettes. You know, we're talking about an increased risk of cancer, but it's not like it's a death wish. And so you can do things like you can point, whoa, that was certainly energetic. That was certainly energetic. What was that? That looked like a COPV just let go. I think we had a COPV just let go. And boy, oh boy, did that seem to damage that aft flap. We are missing a flap now, I think. Or not quite. No, it's still there. But that was energetic.
Bro,
Holy crap.
holy shit. We can't be having this sort of things.
That was crazy. I'm going to listen in here.
Trying to kind of push this vehicle to the limits to learn what its limits are as we design our next version of Starship. So 47 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight, excitement ticking up a little bit on reentry already, but the light show is continuing. This reentry is going to take about 20 minutes or so until our planned splashdown. We were trying to splash down about 1 hour and 6 minutes into the flight.
Wait, so what changes its planned splashdown?
Yeah, and one day Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are obviously no runways or other humans to help us out. So we are doing propulsive landing instead of more traditional means such as parachutes. And propulsive landing enables us to have more rapid reusability with these vehicles.
Yeah, the ship itself, it's a little over 50 meters tall. We've got those 6 engines on board, the 3 vacuum, the 3 sea level, and they're down in that aft skirt region, which
flaps have control.
One engine is gone, bro.
Right, so at this point, the flaps have control. That means we're getting into a dense enough part of the atmosphere that the flaps can start controlling us. We're not only reliant on those kind of reaction control system thrusters.
We're going to continue hearing some callouts as the ship makes its way back to Earth. So when we hear entry max heating and entry max Q, that will mean the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads it will experience as it returns. So if it makes it through those, we can say we're doing pretty well.
I will say I'm happy re-entry cleaned off this camera for us. It was a little dirty from the weather, so thank you, Plasma, for giving us this view as we start coming down.
Boy, a lot of debris coming off, though.
Something is burning there.
Curious how far this can make it in this kind of
The
condition.
hit we saw to the skirt, definitely interesting. I will note, when we started doing these missing tile tests, we were intentionally removing them only in the skirt, as that's,
right?
you know, that's not over your fuel tanks or anything else. That's
Yeah.
kind of
Really gotta beef
structurally
up the
critical for
the-
keeping
this
the entire vehicle
flaps.
together. That obviously exposes your
Easily
engines,
gets
so that could do some things for our landing burn. But for now, we are obviously continuing with this re-entry. We are committed. Indian Ocean, here we come.
It might not be
50 minutes
advisable.
since launch. We're going to see those colors start to build up a little bit. We are at the point where we're in dense enough atmosphere that the flaps have control.
Currently venting gas, though, which might be additional
About
attitude
74
control.
kilometers in altitude.
Bro, that's
We're starting to see some sunlight, so we intentionally time these launches right now so we have daylight. The sun should actually come up over the horizon on Starship in about 3 minutes. So as we get a little bit further into this reentry, that inky black below you is going to start to look like clouds and hopefully a
bro, that
bright
thing is
blue
flying
ocean
around the world in
as we
less than
make
an
our way
hour.
down onto the other side of the planet.
Fuck. Just imagine the speed. Jesus.
We've got these cameras. These cameras are really cool. We added these several flights ago, looking directly at the flaps.
Wow.
As not just the heat shield, but these flaps, how they're able to control the vehicle, withstand that reentry, the seal locations, so kind of where they connect to the ship itself are some of the most critical. We will do missing tiles on those where, again, we're trying to, we're kind of being mean to this Starship a little bit. We're really trying to put it through the paces and kind of poke on what some of its weak points are. I mean, we even have missing tiles over some of those fuel tank sections of the ship itself. And so we're really trying to see what are our limits.
I can't take this
We're doing this over a completely empty area over the Earth.
So crazy.
Look at our Raptors there. We are, assuming we make it all the way down to the ocean in one piece, we will attempt a flip and a landing burn. We do have at least one buoy everybody's favorite camera person out in the Indian Ocean right now, being powered by
Oh yeah.
Starlink. So that's at our planned landing location. So if we're able to get any live views of the ship, that'll essentially tell you that we nailed our target. Able to do that on our
We're gonna
sixth
nail it.
attempt, do it in the daytime, which was really exciting.
Let's see it.
Oh, that's a cool view. Man, it has been taking a beating. You can see it.
Yeah.
That almost looks like that's that flap.
All right, so we're about 10 minutes until we're probably going to start hearing some of the other big milestones coming up.
Yep, in about 10 minutes, like Dan said, Starship will be transonic. This is going to be the period of flight where the velocities of airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, so somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. For reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most of them fly at speeds between Mach 0.74 and Mach 0.85, so that's 480 to 575 miles per hour or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, and after transonic comes subsonic. That just means you're slower than the speed of sound. We're still well in excess of that right now. But by the time we hit subsonic, we're essentially belly flopping down. There we go. There's that sunlight. So we're seeing the Earth now come back into view. One of the other things we're doing during this, and you're going to see Starship kind of pitch in some pretty, not extreme ways, but a little extreme, as we're trying to really stress the structure of it, of the ship itself, specifically those aft flaps. So the ones in the very bottom of the vehicle. We're pushing not just how well does the heat shield hold up, but how well does the ship structure hold up. We are pushing it beyond essentially what we think we'll have to fly at to do something like a return to launch site. So again, may not be a very smooth ride downhill, but we're doing that by design. We're really trying to find what are the edges that we can operate at,
Elon
build
Musk,
up a good
come
data
in
set.
and next
But the sun
Starship
is up,
launch my ass.
clouds and water down below
Come
us.
on.
We are
Wonders.
just about 10 minutes away, a little less than 10 minutes now, until we start hitting transonic and then subsonic. Once we hit subsonic, we're basically just belly flying.
Die. You could die, like literally.
This
Boom.
is crazy. And yeah, remember, Flight 4 had a lot of missing flap hardware by the time it made it down. So
Remember.
this is holding attitude very well. Again, look at the attitude indicator, the little miniature ship on the bottom right. That's
Pointing out.
looking good.
It happened to
That's
me flinch.
holding itself very well. So it's literally going to be burning through some spots. The flaps are going to start getting eaten away. That the engine skirt is where they have a lot of missing tiles. That's probably why we saw some stuff already getting hot and letting go or blowing up. Yet it's still ticking. It's still going. It's like a
All right,
little...
so about 55.5 minutes in, you can see the sun is up. Again, we intentionally designed these flights to lift off in the evening here so we get these daylight views so we can get as good a video as possible on the ship, assuming we make it all the way down. We've got at least one buoy powered by Starlink that's out there in the landing zone in the Indian Ocean, hopefully giving us a view again. If you see any live views, not from the ship itself, that means we nailed our landing target.
Starship is past peak heating.
Oh yes. Past peak heating.
It's good.
All right, we just heard the call out that we're past peak heating,
I
so
was gonna
things are
slow
looking
down a
good
bit.
so far.
Yeah, looking good.
We are almost there, baby. We are almost there.
And at this point, again, the flaps are controlling. So this movement you're seeing is that forward flap moving to try and just maintain control, maintain attitude of the vehicle as we're coming down.
Man, deep breaths. It's crazy. Just seeing it get absolutely obliterated. It gives you a sense of an appreciation for how intense reentry is, how much energy is involved in this, and how much energy has to come out.
Looking in on one of our flaps. We got one of these cameras on all four of the flaps, two in the front, two in the back, giving us really good close-up views
That one back one is getting
As we're
crazy.
we obviously don't have a camera that can see the entire heat shield. These give us kind of the best that we can do. But looking at those flaps is really, those are
That
just
thing is big.
super critical for controlling the ship. You have some ability to maneuver kind of cross range. So as you're coming in, you can see in that indicator at the very bottom right that we've pitched up quite a bit. So again, we are maximally stressing those aft flaps right now.
Yeah, look at that, just getting eaten away down there.
It's like we got a little bit of burn through the very bottom part of it.
Yeah, I'd say a little bit. I'd say a lot of it.
Everything's still looking good. Ship maintaining control.
Yeah.
Notice that it is actually kind of rolling over, yawing over. It's kind of hard to just describe yaw or roll in this case.
Just about 5 minutes away until we hear that we're transonic.
Which either means that likely means it's just trying to target its landing. Either it's losing control or it's targeting its landing, and it has to do some of that to be able to kind of change its cross range trajectory down. Like if you need to go north or south, you'll start seeing a little bit of roll to really hone in. I like that G-force indicator.
1.4 G.
There goes more aft flap. Look at that.
Running away. Sheesh.
Yeah, Captain
Running away.
Ecolo or EKO in our Discord saying it's actually says a lot about how controllable it is.
Still a little bit toasty on the aft skirt.
How controllable it is, even with
As we
parts being so
continue coming
damaged.
in.
It is pretty impressive that it's maintaining orientation.
Again, we are intentionally stressing the flaps so we can learn all we can.
Crazy
Right, so
views.
now we're
2.2.
already well past peak heating.
Oh, that flap is not looking okay. Look at how much is burned through.
Just about
The
48,
backside is
49,
glowing.
counting down to 48 kilometers in altitude. Expecting that transonic to come, so transitioning between the speed of sound and subsonic slower than the speed of sound in just a little under 4 minutes from now. And right now we've got kind of a lot of forward momentum, a lot of forward velocity, and then eventually by the time we hit subsonic. All right, here we go. So this is what we've been talking about, where we are going to essentially try to fully deploy those aft flaps
God,
and
I
really
can't
stress
wait.
them out. So again, this is meant to test the
This'll-
extremes for the vehicle.
That
I
thing
thought
is
I'd just
moving.
lose it right away. That's going to throw the brakes on, basically. That's cool.
I know, right?
Wow. Now that's data you can work with right there. Hypersonic.
Right.
Extreme maneuvers at hypersonic with
See those
binked up
flaps
flaps.
swinging out?
Oh my
Again, we are
gosh.
putting ship through the ringer on this flight in.
The
That
G-forces
is
are
awesome.
coming down.
So you wouldn't normally do this, but it's nice to know your edge case is like what?
It's like we're still maintaining control.
Wow.
G-forces are coming down. Altitude is going down. Speed is going down. We are almost there.
That's incredible. I'm shocked that it's holding together during that. I thought this thing deploy would just go, all right, see ya.
We are almost.
Those nose flaps are looking great. That looks brand new.
Yeah.
All right, flaps earning their paycheck today, getting
Yeah.
through kind of that max stressing.
Unbelievable.
Definitely things looking good so far. We're about 2 minutes out now from Starship becoming transonic.
One cool thing to note as we get some of those views showing kind of the whole length of the ship, one of the changes we made after Flight 6 was to change the tile line a little bit. So we had kind of scaled back the number of tiles significantly, as when we go to catch these ships, you don't want to, I think as Elon said, you don't want to shuck the ship as you catch it and knock all those tiles off. So we knew we were going to have to kind of peel back that layer a little bit. And the first time we did it was on Flight 6, and we saw kind of wrinkling and dimples almost in the ship as we were creating these hot spots in the uneven parts of the heat shield. And so to kind of address that, we smoothed it out. That's why you've got kind of that nice smoothed out black line now on the ship. And just looking at it, we can see kind of a little bit of hot spot, a little bit of warping almost. Near the payload door, you can see a little bit of colored patina up above it, but we don't see those kind of deep, almost, they almost look like gouges on that. So it looks like that's been pretty successful. So
Almost there.
all right, we are less than a minute away from hitting transonic. Again, pretty soon our forward velocity is going to look like it's kind of falling off a cliff, and Starship will look like it's falling off a cliff as we essentially go into our belly flop. If you watch some of the high altitude tests or suborbital campaigns, we were able to test that. That was a pretty fundamental, like, can this thing actually fly? And we were able to prove that out with that suborbital campaign. And that's what we're about to see shortly here.
It's made it this far. That's the punishing part. So now just the kind of standard falling. It's the Buzz Lightyear part, falling with style. Nice and gentle at this point, basically. So if it maintained and lands next to the buoy, this is incredibly impressive because they have put it through its paces. It's missing large portions of its control surfaces. This will be mighty impressive. So now you'll start to see it go from more vertical, and it'll kind of lay down horizontally the slower it gets.
So at this point, we've dropped below the speed of sound. So Starship itself is subsonic. We are starting to chill the engines.
Let's go, baby.
For a landing burn attempt.
Let's go. This is crazy.
Landing flip supposed to start in a little over 2 minutes. Subsonic Indian Ocean, we're on our way.
Starship is subsonic.
I am shocked they got this
There we
far.
go.
We're almost there. Almost.
Farewell, space.
Wow.
Just
Look at that.
crazy.
Just during the daylight like this, it just brings it home.
Bring the ship home, baby. Bring your ship
love
home.
how
Coming up in
battered
just a
it
little
is.
under 2 minutes, so we're going to do the flip and the burn. So we're only using those 3 center Raptor engines, the sea levels, the ones that can kind of gimbal, that can move around and steer.
And mind you, that
Dipping the nose down a little bit.
it won't be burnt like this
Absolutely incredible.
entering on Mars. Yeah, because the atmosphere on Mars is thinner than that of Earth. So
2 of our engines chilled in, waiting on 1 more. So again, we'll attempt to use 3 burns for that initial flip. We eventually go down to just 2 Raptors for the end of the landing burn.
look at those control surfaces.
Now you'll start to see him get a little more active here.
Just about 1 minute now from that landing flip and landing burn start.
That thing is working,
I
bro.
can't believe this works. This is ridiculous.
That's a spaceship, baby.
This should not work. This looks like a movie. You know, it looks like
Sci-fi movie.
Interstellar or something. Coming in and it's like right on the verge of even having burnt through and all this stuff. And
Structurally, we're looking good. Got good pressures in our nose cone for everything. Just about 30 seconds. Again, we're going to look for the flip. So Starship's doing its belly flop right now. We're going to do the flip. Swing out. Let's punch through some clouds first.
let's go. These views are incredible.
1 kilometer.
So you can see the ocean down there.
Yeah.
You can just see it.
Here we go.
Please don't blow up.
Starship
You like the
landing burn
engine.
startup.
Landing burn. There we go. There we go.
Seeing 3 engines.
There we go. There we
Yes.
go.
Yes.
There we
Oh,
go.
buoy cam.
Jesus.
Get it, buoy cam.
There's a
Look
buoy.
at that.
There's a splash.
Did it.
Yes. Yes, that was the best one yet.
We did it.
Oh, that was fantastic.
We did it, baby. We did it. We did it.
Oh, man. Yeah. Farewell, Ship 37. Thank you, buoy cam. landing, flip, landing, burn, splash down in the Indian Ocean. There we go.
There we go.
Wow.
All right. That
They're
was pretty
making it so
awesome.
simple.
Incredible
That's
flight
cool, right?
today for both ship and booster.
Yeah, really incredible. So obviously we're
That's
excited here. It looks
Finally.
like everybody's excited over there.
beautiful.
Tyler, how's it going over in Hawthorne?
Beautiful.
We are super excited here in Hawthorne. It was another exciting Starship Flight test in the books, and we hope you enjoyed those Starlink views. So congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees have contributed
That's Obi-Wan
enormously
right
to the
there.
Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that's going to wrap it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you to everyone
did
for
it,
tuning
boys.
in today.
Did it.
It was
Did it.
it was great being with you today. Back to you guys.
That was absolutely incredible. Huge congrats to all the teams here. Again, we lifted off from Starbase, Texas, right at the top of our window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We saw a booster successfully lift us up through ascent, had a successful hot staging where ship continued on with its suborbital trajectory. Booster came back down, had that boost back burn, and a successful landing burn with that
was
unique
awesome.
engine configuration as well.
Yeah, and then ship continued on its way, made it all the way into space. We got to see first ever payload deploy.
So exciting.
That was awesome. We got the door open, 8 Starlink simulators deployed, relit that Raptor engine, and then on entry we probably gave it a little bit of extra time in the oven, but made it all the way through re-entry. All 3 engines started up, landing
That was
flip,
beautiful.
splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
Beautiful.
Promised maximum excitement. Starship delivered.
Most
So
definitely.
congratulations,
That's beautiful.
all of our teammates here at SpaceX. It's been a year. Everybody that's worked on this program, this is what we're working for. So big congrats to all of them. Thank you to all of our future customers, too, for your support.
And we'd also like to thank the fine people of Cameron County, including the residents of its newest city, Starbase, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the Government of Mexico, and the Australian Space Agency.
Be sure to stay tuned to SpaceX on X for updates, more of the views. This is just a tiny amount of the views. We have so many views that we didn't get to feature on the broadcast, so we're going to be going through that over the next couple of days, and we'll be posting it all there.
Yeah, if you're interested in more launch coverage, head on over to spacex.com/launches for the most up-to-date information. In fact, we actually recently rolled out a new departure board featuring our upcoming launches with details like mission name, launch and landing site, and liftoff time. So be sure to check it out.
All right. We just launched the world's biggest rocket. Again, dropped a couple satellites off, suborbital.
Incredible payload deploy for today.
Nailed that double header into the ocean, splashdown,
Nope.
time to go through the data. Really crazy cool to hit all those objectives today.
Yeah, huge shout out to all the teams who make this look easy. And thanks to all of you for tuning in, and we will see you back here for Flight 11. Good night.
Yes, guys. Yes, yes,
That's how you
yes,
do it.
yes, 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 yes.
Right.
And the road's already open again, by the way, down at the pad. That is crazy. I guess that's what happens when they don't bring the booster back and they don't have to,